In this snippet, I will overview the first chapter from this book. So, where is the plot being staged? It's at the Argonne National Lab in United States. This is one of the most important national labs in the US. So why is this important in this context? So it holds the patent for an important component of lithium-ion battery. This is the most, or at least one of the most advanced electrodes that goes into lithium-ion battery. It has three components: nickel, manganese, and cobalt. And so it is often referred to as the NMC cathode of lithium-ion battery. So this is a picture of a national lab. It's an expansive campus. So we would hear more about this as we progress in the book. So one of the central characters here is Dr. Jeff Chamberlain. So he's currently the CEO of Volt Energy Technologies. At the time when the book was written, he was the director of a large center at ANL. The center was called Joint Center for Energy Storage Research. So that's where most of the battery research is being translation battery research is done at the United States. So he holds a PhD in physical chemistry and surface science. So why I want to emphasize these things is that people who have a fairly fundamental background go on to do traditional research. Not only that, they go on to the industry also in the US. So another central character is Dr. Van Gang. At the time when the book was written, he was the Chinese Minister of Science. He has quite a story. He comes from a rather poor background, goes on to do PhD in Germany, and while he's working at a prestigious industry in Germany, that is the Audi car company, he's brought back to China. So in the first chapter, it starts with Dr. Van Gang's visit to Jeff Chamberlain's group at Argonne National Laboratory. Another important figure in first chapter is President Hu Jintao of China. He himself is a hydraulic engineer from one of the topmost universities in China, Tsinghua University. So China has a tradition of bringing in fairly technically qualified people into the government. Okay, so that's the tradition. And they also set the policy and agenda for how China is to move, in which direction, and so on. So President Hu Jintao appoints Dr. Van Gang as the Ministry of Sciences, and one of the main agenda here is to embark on electric vehicle expansion in China. So, and one of the central theme in the first chapter, which is a rather short chapter, is Al Sattelberger. He's a deputy lab director at Argonne National Lab. He's giving a presentation to Dr. Van Gang when Dr. Van Gang is visiting Argonne National Labs. So what is the central theme of the presentation? Three aspects of Argonne National Labs NMC patent is being presented. One is, with this electrode material, the car is able to go 40 miles on a single charge. So this is one of the important criteria for an electric car. That is, it should be able to go as long as possible without being charged often. Okay, so that's an important aspect. You will hear about this aspect as we progress. So it needs to accelerate very rapidly. That is, electric vehicle in general has to accelerate very rapidly, and it has to be safe. So why are these things important? So you need to contrast electric vehicle against gasoline. Okay, so gasoline has enormous amount of energy density. So that's why it's not so easy to replace gasoline. And its power density of gasoline, internal combustion engine operating with gasoline, is also pretty high. So it's not easy to compete with that. And gasoline over a period of time, okay, so over more than a century of experience, it is found to be very safe. So any replacement for a gasoline powered car, it's not going to be easy. So that's why it's a very intricate challenge. All right. So what is the race all about? Okay. So the race is about who's going to be first on the electric vehicle market, and how large is going to be, how much you can capture, what is the percentage each company, each country can capture in the electric vehicle market. The general expectation is that in some decades, most of the gasoline powered vehicles would be replaced by electric vehicles. So the consumer market, transportation market is pretty large. So who's going to be first? Who's going to take most of the market share? So Argonne National Lab, United States in general, holds crucial patents like the one for NMC. However, it doesn't have a huge market share due to traditional reasons. Okay, so Japan and South Korea have lot of manufacturing experience for lithium ion battery for mobile application. So once you have a manufacturing experience for making smaller batteries, it is possible to scale up manufacturing experience for making larger batteries. So these are major players, and China wants to capture, first catch up with the rest of the countries and capture at least first its local market. So there are important electric vehicle companies called, for example, BYD in China. First, it wants to capture the local market, Chinese local market. And this year, in 2023, BYD overtook Tesla in selling the most number of electric vehicles across the world. Okay, so these are some of the major countries which are involved in this electric vehicle race. So the next chapter is also very interesting. Is why did Argonne National Lab let Dr. Wang Gang in? So we will take it up in the next snippet. Thank you.